great. Now I gotta replace that whole thing. That just broke. Wow. Welcome back to the channel. Today working on the Yukon. This car I've been driving every day to work, and I've been working in Bend, which is about 40 miles from here, so it's about a 45-minute drive one way, so hour and a half-ish there and back. So anyway, I've been driving this thing every day, and I've developed a leak in one of the heater hoses, and it's an adapter. There's a T in there that runs to the back heater core that heats the back of the car. So it's leaking right there out of an O-ring, and I'm going to pull that apart and fix that. And don't need no antifreeze leaks, so it's been dripping right down on the spark plug. So once in a while you'll smell it, antifreeze, and I found out where it's leaking. So show you here if it'll show good. Right here, leaking right there out of that little. There's a little T right there. This is the heater hose, runs into the main heater. The main heater core, and then there's a T here that runs back, goes under the car and to the heater core in the back. So there's supposedly an O-ring in here, and I don't think I need to take apart the whole T, just this part, replace the O-ring, put it back together, should be good. But it's really wet down there on that coil pack and the spark plug wire, and down on the spark plug, and then right onto the exhaust. So every once in a while you'll smell antifreeze. Definitely been leaking. Antifreeze is a little bit low, so it's dripping pretty good. So we'll fix that and see where we can go from there. So supposedly you can just push these tabs together and pull that out. I don't know that it's that easy, but only been together for 236,000 miles. That's the gist. Push in on it a little. I'll spray a little brake cleaner up there to clean out something. There must be some dirt under it. Alright, I got some brake clean here. I'm going to spray right up in there. This motor's kind of dirty. Okay. Brake clean don't hurt anything. Dries out fast. So now, let's see if we can get her to come apart. Top one doesn't look like it's going far enough down. Alright, I got some needle nose pliers here. I'm going to try to squeeze these tabs. I feel like that's doing better than my fingers were. Maybe. Yeah, great. Now I gotta replace that whole thing. That just broke. Wow. Brittle, I guess. At least that end, anyway. Oh, mackerel. What a joke. Yeah, you can't squeeze that and get that off of there. That's dumb. Problem is I can't feel my fingers right now. My hands are asleep. And I can't push hard enough to get that out of there. That other one, you can't even see the end of it. It's clear up underneath. You'd ever get up in there without two guys and long screwdrivers to push that. I don't know. That's interesting. We'll come back to that. Alright, I finally got this piece off. I had to go get my bent needle nose. They have a bent jaw on them so you can get behind stuff. This piece has O-ring in it. It's obviously it broke when I was pulling the other side off. They say these get brittle real easy, so they often break. So anyway, I probably couldn't, probably could have done something different and not broke it, but it broke. Can't go back now. So anyway, I'll go get this piece. They do make this piece that just slides on there, and then I just got to pull the O-ring out of the part of that T that I took apart first. We'll go get those parts and put it back together. All right, so here's the pieces that were bad. That O-ring right there in the middle, the black one, it was leaking and letting that antifreeze run by. So I'm gonna go get these parts, and hopefully somebody's got them in stock. If not, I guess I'll order them, and then we'll drive the old Ford pickup to work for a couple days. Well, it's a nice sunny day, so we're gonna run down and get some parts for the Yukon. Gonna go ahead and take the Jeep. It's probably only about 40-45 degrees out here. That's why I got a beanie on and a coat. But these guys, they got to go for a ride. I'm gonna leave the little guy here, little Porter. He's not really Jeep broke yet. He tries to jump out. So you end up hanging on to him the whole time, and it's a little bit of a fiasco. So he's gonna stay in the house with Mom, and we're gonna run down and get some parts. Gotta give it lots of time. This thing don't have a lot of power. Here's our old feed store. It's where we buy all our dog food and plumbing supplies and stuff. Coachco Feed. Love that place. It's old, got a wood floor. It's an old building. Pretty neat though. A lot of old buildings in Prineville. Pretty old town. One of the oldest in Central Oregon. A lot of neat old stuff. We're gonna go right here to our Napa store. See if we can get some parts. Hopefully they're still open. Oh yeah. Stop for the pizza delivery fella. Quick U-turn, don't get me run over. Whee! Ah. Alright, got our parts in Napa. They had them in stock. Kind of nice. Yeah, we'll go back and put that thing back together. Got to stop by the gas station, get some gasoline, keep this old Jeep running. So Oregon just passed a law a little while back here. We can pump our own gas now, which is kind of nice. You just pull in and do it yourself, which is great. Pretty much almost every other state in the nation does that. But, I run non-ethanol in this thing, and it's better for all the components in the fuel system to run non-ethanol in this old Jeep. It's a little more expensive. It's $4.99 a gallon here, but regular is $3.59. So, but it's better for the Jeep. Yeah, 7.25 gallons for $36.43. Ouch. So I got the parts there at the parts store. They had everything in stock. I'm going to go ahead and change the other one while I'm right here because it'll be way easier to get to. It's under the one I'm changing. And it's not leaking, but it looks pretty nasty and brittle. So I'm just going to go ahead and change it out. They had it, and I'll just pop it off there, put the new one on. Should be good for a long time now. These lasted for, well, it's an 02, so 22 years. Maybe these ones from China will last that long, right? Yeah. All right, I got this other one off. It came off in one piece. Still a struggle. I ended up putting WD-40 on it, and it seemed to help. But you can see it's got a bunch of goo in it. I'm sure they don't stay clean under the engine bay very well. So now I'm about to go back together with this thing. I'm gonna cut these hoses off right here. This thing is just pretty much grown in there, so I got enough room. The hoses are long enough. I can cut a little bit off. They'll be long enough to go back on. So we'll do that and start putting this thing back together. I'm gonna go right at the end of the piece there. I actually changed these hoses out probably 50,000 miles ago maybe. I did all the hoses on this car, all the rubber, so they're still good. They're nice and stiff. I mean, they're not hard, but they're good. They're not squishy. And like I say, I've changed them out, so they're good to go. That one. Slide that clamp down a little farther. Okay, it's right there. Love cutting rubber hoses. Seems as if my knife is dull. Weird. Oh, come off of there. Try not to cut myself. All right. So these hoses it's pretty easy to tell which side they go on. This one has an actual hose clamp. So this one wasn't leaking, but my luck is it's so hard to get to under the other one. My luck is it would be leaking if I didn't change it. So that's why I'm changing it, because now I've messed with it, I've bumped it, I've disturbed it, and it's the same age as the other one, so it wouldn't take it very long probably to just start leaking again. And it was under the other one, so way harder to get to. So I'm just gonna do them both. Got those done, they're ready. Take the O-ring off of this guy. Maybe screw into the metal. And get that clamp off. I think the new one came with a new snap clamp. Sure, those parts are pretty cheap, really. Antifreeze was the worst part. So the one connector looks like it was 40 bucks, the other one was 36, and then the ends, the quick locks that go on the heater hoses were, looks like they were 23 and 22. So not bad for parts. Not good, but not bad. $100 bill basically when I was done. Better than being broke down, cheaper than the tow. Okay, some old parts. This is the new one, comes with the clamp. Okay, this is there was a white one and a black one, so this is the white one, or the clear, I guess it's white, tan color, whatever. This is Napa part 820-0256-1. And this is the one that goes on basically on the driver's side of the heater core. So we'll install it first. I'll put some Seal Glide on, make sure everything looks clean and neat where those O-rings sit, and we'll get that put on there. I got to get this little clamp off here. This little clamp right here. This is the old one. You got to take it off, put the new one on. It looks like you can just pry those up and pull that off of there. So we'll get that off and put the new one, get ready to snap that into the new one. I'll take a little bit of like emery cloth and clean these up so the O-ring seat's good, and we'll go from there. Alright, I got a little bit of sandpaper here. Just going to kind of clean these tubes off just so the O-ring sits good on them. They got a little bit of black and stuff, so I don't want them to leak. So we'll just kind of clean them off. They're aluminum, so it doesn't take much. You can kind of, there's a little bit of black there. Just clean them good. Kind of hard to get to in the car, like normal. Alright, that's that. Wipe them off with the rig. Before I plug them back in, I'll throw some Seal Glide on them. See how the other ones look. Heater core side looks pretty clean. I think it'll be good. We'll Seal Glide those. Need one of those magnetic tool trays so I don't drop tools. Tiny little bit of Seal Glide. Rub around there. Makes it go nice. Not gonna hurt to get a tiny little bit of that in the cooling system. I mean, I wouldn't try to get a bunch of it in there, but you get a little tiny dab inside the hoses there, ain't gonna hurt nothing. Lube up the water pump. Okay, let's do a little on these guys. On both both sides of that deal so it'll pop over nice. Yeah, after being on there for 22 years, they didn't want to come apart. Weird. Okay, first one. These made in China ones. Yep, made in China. Hicho in China, fabrique in China. All those cool things. Kind of feel like they're not quite the quality that the original ones were. Snapped on. Yeah. Get that to go. Should have done that before Okay, that's on. Now that's on. Okay, first one's installed. They go back together way easier than they came apart. Okay, the other side is a Napa 820-0255-1. It's the black one. It's got a little bit of an angle. It's not a T, it's got an angle to it. They're different. Same thing, made in China. In China. So that one's got a little bit of an angle to the T right there. It's more like a cursive T, I guess. So we'll go with this one. See if I can snap that on there first. Definitely makes a snap sound. Now, gotta go past that one. Oh, that's nice. Okay, those are snapped in. Then my ends. The seal glide. Makes everything go together good. Gives the O-ring a little bit of oil. Or lube to sit on, not oil. Just a good place to lube it so it doesn't roll in there or get hung up or cut. So now, this guy goes over here. This guy goes over here. Just like that. I still prefer metal and hose clamps. I mean, this has a hose clamp, but I prefer anything that comes apart. They could have done a metal T with hose clamps. But no, that'd be too easy. Then you could actually take it apart and not be mad by the time you were done. Tighten this bad boy up. Should go get 5/16. That's what I'm gonna do. We'll grab a 5/16. It'll make my life way easier. Alright, got my 5/16. Way more sanitary than a screwdriver. Except you know what I forgot to do before I do this? Put that wire loom back. Good thing that comes off easy. This goes up and around, over the top, in the way of everything. Plugs on there. Plugs on there. kind of nice. It pushes down on those. Good place for it. Stop just shy of stripping it off. Now, this other one, it's got clamp style on it still. Okay, that's back on. Hoses are back in their holders. Okay, I'm going to spray a little cleaner down there, dry the motor up. Need to get my pressure washer going again is what I need to do. Okay, now I got a whole plethora of tools on the hood here, or on the grill. I'm going to fill my antifreeze up. So what's funny is they have a fill line over here under all this stuff where it's really hard to see. So that's why I drew this one. Just makes it easier. We'll top it off with some antifreeze. And I think that's still in the Jeep. But yeah, we'll get her topped off. Alright, I'm going to fill the antifreeze up. This is in all vehicles. It'll go in any color antifreeze. So yes, it's green going into red, but it's for every color. So go back up to the full line, which is right there. I'm going to give it a little bit more because I lost a little bit out of that. Okay. We'll go there, we'll run it and check it. Awesome. Socket down there, that's kind of nice. Let's see if I can't get it. Put that on the ground. Of course I can't. Junk off of here. Fire this car up. Start this thing and let it warm up. I'm going to go grab a magnet to get that socket that fell. Go ahead and start it, let it warm up, let it cycle. Let it cycle and then make sure I don't have any leaks there. The car's been running a little bit here, coming up to temp. See the temp gauge down there. It's coming up. I got the heater on. I'm going to turn them up. Both heaters. It's got one up there for the... That one controls the rear heat. So this thing's obviously a Yukon, so it's got a lot of space to heat in there. So running. This heater hose is warm. These are getting warm. It's good. Not seeing any drips back there. That's good, not just spraying out. I had a feeling if I left that lower one and didn't change it, it would be leaking and I'd have to go through the whole process again. So I figured for the 34 bucks that it cost or whatever, for 40 bucks, just change it out, it's done. Now they're both new, they're not brittle. They were made in China, so they probably won't live as long as the originals, I'm sure. Probably not even half the amount of time. Kind of been my luck with Chinese stuff. But this car has 237,000 miles, so hopefully they'll last as long as the rest of the vehicle. Or I'll change them out again, I guess. So anyway, I think we whipped it. I'm going to let it run here a little longer, get to full operating temperature, which is right around 190, and just make sure they're not going to leak, because like I say, I drive it to work and I don't want to be alongside the highway somewhere trying to crimp off a hose because it's bleeding, then not have a heater. So that would stink. It's winter time and today's beautiful, but It's been in the 20s at night and been snowing on us and stuff, so kind of nice to have a heater, especially after work when you're cold and you've been working all day outside. You jump in this thing, get the heater warm on the way home. It's nice. But so I think that's it for this one. Thanks for watching again, and please remember to like and subscribe, and we appreciate you watching. We do love our viewers. Thank you so much for viewing and watching our content, and we will catch you on the next one. Porter's going for a ride on the four-wheeler. I don't think he likes it. You'll get used to it. Okay, here we go. Oh, you gotta stay on. Woohoo! Ah, nope. Yeah, he's not real used to this four-wheeler stuff.